I started tennis at age 25 and it has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. You think that you're just hitting the ball when you first start, but then you realize that it's really about patience, mindset, and accepting failure over and over again. But honestly, it has also been one of the most rewarding things I've ever learned. And so today, I thought I would share with you what I've learned and what I would do different if I were to start tennis again. If you don't know me, my name is Carla. I'm a Spanish girl living in the Netherlands for about 4 years now. I moved here for love, but now I study my second bachelor degree. So on this channel, I navigate life as an expat. I show what I learn as someone who is ambitious but also grounded, hoping to inspire you to learn, grow, and thrive, just like I try to do every single day. But let's talk about tennis. The decision of me starting tennis was really because my partner has been playing tennis all his life. It's the thing to do in the family. Naturally, I wanted to learn it because it made sense and it was the perfect timing to do so. I think it's really hard for someone who is just a student to start tennis because it's an expensive sport. So like you have to buy a racket, you need to have the club membership. If you want to play a match, you need to sign for a tournament or competition. If you want to get better because you're just starting, you need lessons. So it can be expensive, but I was lucky enough to get the racket for free and I just needed to join under a student membership. That was okay to pay for the year and then I save up for paying my lessons. So it is possible, but be aware that maybe if you're a student, it's not so easy to start, but if you're a young professional, it's a great sport to get your hands on. So let's talk about more in depth. I thought that tennis was gonna be just easy. You just hit the ball whatever you want to and then it's done. The reality is that tennis is one of the hardest sports out there to learn. It's very tactical and it requires a lot of technique. So you're not gonna hit the ball where you think you want to hit it. I am about 3 years in learning tennis and I'm still not even there. I still take lessons, I still practice. I try to sign for a lot of tournaments in summer and it's just I'm not as half good as I would like to, but it is a great way for any expat out there to start a sport. Doesn't have to be tennis, but the thing about tennis is that you have the club, you have events happening in the club, and it's super easy even if you join like a class. There's time to talk with other people, so it's really good to socialize. And that's also partly why I like to do it as well, because as an expat in the Netherlands, it's really hard to make friends, so it is a good excuse to put myself out there and also learn the language alongside with training. The first thing I want to tell you is join a club. If you have a membership on a club, it's way better than just paying every time for a court. Plus, you're gonna suck, so might as well joining a club. Usually, if it's a quite big club, you can also have like an internal ladder and then you can play with people from the club. So you can just book a court and you don't have to pay for it and then you can have a match with someone from the club and then you get to meet new people as well. So it is really a sport that helps you a lot to integrate, right? Because you can join lessons, which I highly recommend if you're starting tennis. And even if you already have 2-3 years in, continue to do lessons. I think it's just a great way to improve things that you think you might be doing right, but you're actually not. Or like getting some technique advice from a professional is way better. Tennis really helps you integrate because you have to go to competition, you have to go to tournaments, there's some drink afterwards with the opponent, you connect through the sport. You have in between the match you can stop to drink some water and have some conversation. So it's like quite nice to have something that you share with other people because there's always something that you can talk about. Which takes me to another advice. If you're starting a new sport, even if it's not tennis, but especially tennis, I would advise you to actually watch some tennis, professional tennis. Not only is like a nice plan to do, especially when you get into it, everything, watching it helps you realize, okay, wow, all the things they do, maybe you want to try later on or like, you know what I mean? It's so passive learning and also so, yeah, it's nice to do and nice to learn from. Try to learn the rules really quick so that you can get started with playing match as soon as possible. If you are from other sport, racket sport, it will be way easier for you to start. If you are not coming from another racket sport, I am so sorry for you. I understand you. Not surprised, and I've already mentioned this point, it. And I want to say it again, it is hard. It is hard. You're gonna get frustrated. There's a lot of frustration with this sport, especially for people who has never played a sport that requires competition. I am so sorry. It is really a hard feeling. My family was never into competitive sports. I don't know why. It just never was. I did horse riding. I did swimming. You don't have to do competition. And now I play tennis. And the only way to practice tennis in a fun way is actually playing a match. Because otherwise you're just having rallies. That's also fun, but it's not really, you want to have the rules, you want to have the excitement. It is really nice, but for someone who has never done that, there's a lot of frustration happening every time, because you have to, especially at the beginning, you have to face failure over and over again. But you build a lot of resilience, so with more time and more effort, you start to get better slowly, but you start to get better. You will see improvement, but also, and this is very important, do not expect to start tennis late and think that because you had a few rallies that were amazing, you're gonna go to Wimbledon. I'm sorry, but this is for all the ladies out there. I've been playing with a lot of ladies and we are very competitive, and I think we have high expectations in our level, and I want to break it down because it's not fun anymore. When you are playing against someone and you start doing things that are not nice, for what? If you're at such low level, be kind to your opponent, because you are both going through the same learning process and it makes the whole experience way better. So always try to be kind to the opponent. That doesn't mean that if you have a ball that goes out, don't call it, of course not. But it's the way of communicating yourself. I have a whole cultural shock video and I speak about communication styles, maybe something interesting to discuss further, but it's so important how you communicate, especially in this context where there's a lot of frustration and emotions happening. And yes, be aware of this. Something that I've learned from tennis is that strategy over power. So you don't have to go for winners all the time. I know it sucks, but you just cannot go for winners all the time. It's much better to start finding your own playing style, be consistent with bringing the ball back. Of course, if you feel like once you get better, you feel like there's a chance, you can take some risks. But unfortunately, as I said before, tennis is about winning. So you want to win your match, and the better player, the consistent player, is the one that wins the match, not the one that takes the risk over and over and makes a mistake. So I would say keep the risk for the ladder and for the lessons where you can try and explore, and try to stay consistent, right? So run, stay fit, and the mindset. Tennis is a mental sport. A lot of expectations in ourselves, a lot of pressure for winning, but losing is part of the sport. Every professional tennis player has lost matches, so you cannot expect that you won't. It's part of the process, it's part of the sport. You either lose or you win, and you cannot always win, so 50-50 chance. Embrace losing. Doubles versus singles. Hey, let me tell you, it is not the same. It is not the same way of playing singles and doubles. You can be a very great singles player and suck at doubles because it's more strategic, you need more volleys, it's another dynamic. If you're starting, I would advise you to play both so that you get the hint of an early stage to how to play both. I enjoy a lot playing with other people on doubles, but I also enjoy playing singles because all the responsibility of the game relies on me. A lot of people I find when playing that they don't deal very well with having someone to play with because of this. It's frustrating that your opponent makes a mistake and you don't know how to communicate that. And communication is so important. But it's just part of the playing doubles, right? You're on a team. You need to understand that just like you make a mistake, so does your partner, and that's okay. It's hard because it puts a lot of pressure on yourself and the opponent. Start both early, and it's okay if you decide just to play one or the other. Just have fun with tennis. That's the most important thing that I want to give you with this video. Be patient and have fun. Don't play for perfection. Play to have fun. Don't be competitive, but don't lose the mindset. Don't expect too much from yourself, and enjoy. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Don't forget, because it really helps to grow this channel. And let me know in the comments if you're starting tennis or what's a sport that you've been wanting to try. I'm always really into learning new things, whether that's a sport, a hobby, a new skill. So I love to get inspired, because there are things that I don't think about that maybe are interesting to me eventually. So leave me a comment if I miss anything and you want to add something. We can all probably benefit from it. Thank you so much for listening, and I see you in the next one.